Live from Hooper Stadium on the campus of Nevada Union High School, Touchdown Productions is celebrating its 17th year of high school sports television, is proud to present Nevada Union Minor Football. Today, your Nevada Union Miners take on the Pleasant Grove Eagles. It's our second telecast of the year, and all the action starts right here, right now. It's your NorCal Game of the Week. The Nevada Union Miners play their third home game in a row tonight. This time, it's Pleasant Grove Eagles who fly into Hooper Stadium on a warm summer evening in Nevada County. Good evening, football fans, wherever you are across our worldwide audience. This is Scott Hopper filling in for Jim Adams. Alongside me tonight is Steve Sitter. Our executive producer and director is Gilbert M. Dominguez. And he is joined by the rest of the Touchdown Production sports team of Daniel Paddock, Paul Town, Kimmer Burgess, Chris La Centra, Chris Baxter, and Ryan Stubbs. Steve, the Miners will have their hands full tonight against the Eagles.
That's right, Scott. After last week's drubbing of 46-6 at the hands of the Grant Pacers, the Miners find themselves at 0-2, and new head coach Dennis Houlihan is making some changes. On the offensive line, he'll start Trevor Moore and Matt Cross at guards, and Davi Pettinato and Tyler Stroud at tackles. In the backfield, he'll go with bigger backs and start Jake Berger, Gareth Noxon, and Brandon Lopez. And getting his first varsity start at quarterback will be Chase Loper, who has been very deceptive with the football at practice.
Meanwhile, Pleasant Grove is on a 2-game win streak to begin this year's campaign and shows no sign of slowing down as they come into tonight's contest ranked 4 in the section.
And the Miners held a players-only meeting this week, and Coach Houlihan reports that the practices were much better afterwards. So this is exactly what he and his coaching staff are looking for: senior leadership to take hold and make everyone play better.
So the table is set here at Nevada Union High School for week number 3 of the 2013 season. Thank you for spending your time with us. Be sure to watch this game and all our sports telecasts on our Game of the Week YouTube channel and on NCTV Comcast 11 and Suddenlink 16, the home of the Nevada Union Miners football. Time for our first pause of the evening, so stay with us. It's the NU Miners versus the Pleasant Grove Eagles right here on the Touchdown Productions Sports Network.
It's time to visit the newly remodeled B&C True Value Home and Garden Center. The new B&C has completely changed for your shopping convenience. Their new expanded garden center has everything you need, including expert advice on trees, shrubs, and perennials. Check out their new website and the new spring hours. And thank you for voting B&C the best hardware and building supply in 2012. So start right, start here at B&C True Value Home and Garden Center. The Hauser family reminds you if it's round, rubber, and it rolls, then you're sure to find it at Plaza Tire and Auto Service. From regular car and truck tires to small specialty tires for your trailers and golf carts, you can trust Plaza Tire has the tire for you. They stake their reputations on it every day. Plaza Tire and Auto Service. Auto repair done on your schedule, not theirs, in Penn Valley, Nevada City, and in Colfax. The Old Town Cafe is the oldest continuously operating restaurant in Grass Valley. Serving breakfast and lunch 7 days a week, the Old Town Cafe is now open for dinner every Friday and Saturday night with nightly specials like steaks, seafood, along with draft beer and wine. Stop by to see Monday Night Football at the OTC with drink and appetizer specials. It's football fun for the whole family at the Old Town Cafe.
Mike Bratton is the neighbor you can count on for your most important insurance decisions, 24 hours a day.
The first step begins with a phone call. Hi, I'm Mike Bratton, your good neighbor State Farm agent, and I look forward to hearing from you. Since 1984, my team and I have been educating clients and developing long-term relationships through personalized and professional guidance on their insurance programs. We will put you in the driver's seat and strive to enhance each encounter you have with us.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Hi, we're back here at Hoover Stadium awaiting the kickoff. And while we do wait, we'd like to take a moment and look at the standings after 2 games of the Sierra Foothill League. Obviously, Roseville, which is an upstart surprise as they have struggled in the years past, start out at 2-0. Del Oro standing at 1-1. Surprise here in Granite Bay, starting out the season at 0-1. The lower half is not really a surprise at 0-2 all the way down the board. The Nevada Union Miners, we'll see a little later here tonight if they can turn it around. Steve, as we look at these standings, obviously you have seen the PVL quite a bit, so why don't you go ahead?
Yeah, Bear River is on top 1-0, and you might find that strange considering only the 1 win, but they have only given up 7 points, which is why they stand on top. And we'd like to pause here as we join the Nevada Union Chorus for the national anthem.
After this, we'll be right back with the kickoff. Going back to
Okay, we'll be right back with exclusive coverage of Nevada Union Miner football.
Are you ready to buy or sell your home or property? Placer Title is your local title and escrow company located right here in the heart of Nevada County. We combine the stability of a national insurer with all the benefits of on-site title and escrow professionals. Being voted the best title company by the union readers for the past 7 years is a true testament to our local roots and unparalleled customer service. Stop by one of our 2 convenient locations and thank you for keeping your business local.
We're at SPD Market in Nevada City asking people what they like about SPD.
I love SPD Market because I know all the people here and I've been coming here for a long time. I do all my socializing here and they're just a great community supporter.
I like SPD Market because it's like coming home and seeing all the people I've known for years.
And that's why people love SPD Markets in Nevada City and Grass Valley.
Okay, we're back. We have Danny Fan ready to kick off for the Miners. Ball is underway. Pleasant Grove takes it up the side. Out of bounds at roughly the 40, maybe the 42-yard line. And that's number 15.
And the return for the Eagles,
Cedric Thomas,
15, Cedric Thomas,
junior wide receiver, defensive back.
First and 10 for the Eagles.
That was a good 30-plus yard return there.
You know, last week, early on in the game, the Miners' defense played real strong, but they will have a test again here tonight as Pleasant Grove lines up at the 41. Drop back to pass. Out over the 50 to 48-yard line. Flag on the ground.
I believe they're going to call him for trying to hurdle a tackle, which is a high school penalty.
First down pending the penalty.
I guess he's been watching a little bit too much NFL.
Well, it is that time of year.
It is, definitely is. Okay, so the Miners gave up a 10, 12-yard play to open the drive, but we'll await the signal.
That was number 19, Wyatt Demps, on the reception from number 7, Dondre Terrell.
It was a holding.
Penalties against the Eagles.
So that's going to push him back 5 yards, give him a harder first down attempt.
So they'll have 15 yards to go. Again, out over the 50 is the mark that they'll need to achieve to pick up the first down. Terrell still back, hands it off, going up the middle. Picked up 7, 8 yards.
That was number 11, Damari Morris, 5'11" junior.
Damari Morris coming into the season, he has 31 carries for 105 yards.
On the carry for the Eagles,
and a touchdown.
Number 11, Damari Morris, stopped by Nevada Union's number 5, Travis Owens, brings up second and 6.
Second and 6. Again, up the middle. Bounces it to the outside. Breaks many tackles. Still not down. Ball's loose. And the Miners act as if they got it, and yes, they did. Miners, 1st and 10 at their own 40-yard line.
For the Miners, number 50, Enzo.
That was Enzo Arata for Nevada U coming up with the fumble recovery, but we have a Miner down. That's Jake Berger.
And that's a big loss to the Miner squad.
And he looks to be in quite a bit of pain. Looks like he's holding his head, might be a potential head injury or a neck injury. Yeah, let's take a look at this replay. That's Damari Morris with the ball. Forced outside. Good defense there by Nevada Union. And he just stays up, lowers his shoulder, keeps going. Just keeps on going. There's Berger falling. Oh, yeah, he gets hit in the side of the head, it looks like. And the ball comes out. And Enzo Arata just right there at the perfect place, perfect time. As we join live action, Berger is up and walking off the field on his own power, which is a very good sign.
Okay, here we go.
Yeah, let's take a look at this again. Yeah, the ball gets forced out. And it very clearly
okay, Loper's under center first time, and he completes the pass out over the 45-yard line.
Completed pass for the Miners, that's number 80.
That's to number 80. Again, Loper under center, hands it off to Travis Owens. Maybe he picked up 1 or 2 yards on the play.
Yeah, Pleasant Grove looks like they have a pretty good control of the center. They have some big linemen in there.
3 for the Miners.
Yeah, number 71, Kyle Dixon, 6'3", 265 senior.
Loper again, handoff up the middle. Same menu, going to Owens. They're grinding it. They're chipping away, picking up maybe 1, 2 yards.
For the Miners, that's number 5 again, Travis Owens.
And they'll be close to the first down. They called this first down. Miners. They seem to be in a better rhythm tonight than last week.
Yeah, I think that first pass play, that completion really helped out the offense, gave him a lot of confidence.
Which is helpful because the Miners came into the game completing 5 of 23 passes. So Loper, maybe the boost they've been looking for. They went to the third back coming out of the backfield. That was Gareth Noxon, number 2. Picking up 4.
On the play for number 2, Gareth Noxon.
It's good to see them putting together a nice drive here.
Yeah, put the pressure on early.
Up the middle by Brandon Lopez.
Coming close to the first down for the Miners. That's
he's one of our new players playing fullback tonight.
First down, Miners.
They're going to give him the first down here.
Putting a sustained drive together to start the first half. Loper again handing it off to Brandon Lopez. Let's see where the spot is, but again, they're picking up yards.
Yeah, it looks like he got tripped up at right around the line of scrimmage. Otherwise, he was looking at a pretty big gain there.
Brandon Lopez, 2nd and 8 for the Miners.
Coming into the game, the Eagles have played very good defense. First stop for maybe a loss.
And that's a Berger on the carry, so good to see he's still in, but he's favoring his left shoulder.
Yeah, it doesn't look good for that young man.
Simmons, number 79, Dylan Kaiser.
Tough kid.
Yeah, he's going to come out. Travis Owens will come in. Yeah, he's holding his shoulder limp. That's not a very good sign.
And Jake Berger is a two-way player for the Miners. Big loss to the team. Now they're going to pick on the corner, and they pick up maybe the first down. Check the mark. Anything out over the 30.
About a 6-7 yard
It's
gain.
third down, a little shy of the 30-yard line.
Coming close to that first down.
NU's run game looks very productive, very fast. I think they're going to try to beat Pleasant Grove on speed instead of size, and I think that's a good move.
I would agree. As again, much like last week, they're undersized up front. Chase Loper again under center.
Oh, there's flags.
Flag on the field.
I'm going to guess illegal shift on this one.
False start.
Penalties against the Miners, false start.
So that's going to push him back to a 4th and 6 instead of a 4th and 1.
4th and 6 for the Miners.
And we're at the 36-yard line. They need to pick up six yards. Looks like the Miners will be going for it. Play action. They have an open target. Overthrown. He had Travis Owens out open in the flat on the far side and just overthrew him. He had time.
Turnover of
Yeah,
plays.
it looked like he was in the middle of turning and not quite balanced.
36-yard line.
So that will be a turnover, and Pleasant Grove will take over on their own 36.
Okay, here we go. We're going to see what the Miners defense can do this second possession. This doesn't look good. He's out over the 30 to the 20 to the 10, and there's not a Miner within 20 yards of him.
Pleasant Grove.
That's a touchdown.
Damari Morris.
That's Damari Morris.
Into the end zone for the Eagles.
Very fast, had a big hole at the line of scrimmage and just took it. I don't think he was touched all the way to the end zone.
Damari Morris Jr., 5'11", 175. That puts Pleasant Grove on the board. And they're going to kick. That's Chad Phillips.
For Pleasant Grove.
Kick is up.
Kick is up.
And the call is good. Miners down. 7-0. Well,
7:02.
first possession, the first drive, they both looked rather convincing. But when you give up a big hit like that, it certainly takes the wind out of the sails.
Yeah, the Nevada Union defense has had a tough go of it this season. They've been on the field much more than most other teams' defense. And I think maybe it's not showing, but I think they could be biding their time, trying not to get too winded for a poor second half, much like we saw last week.
Good point. Last week, again, the defense played stout defense early. Again, both Nevada Union has a lot of players that go both ways, and it looked like it wore them down. And with the loss of Berger, we're going to have a young guy out there probably that doesn't have much experience as a two-year starter in Berger. Okay, here we go. The kick is up. And we have a whistle.
There's a flag all the way back at the 40. I believe they're going to get Pleasant Grove offsides.
That's probably right. We'll wait for the call. I looked into a statistic earlier today, and
Pleasant Grove.
The Miners have been
offsides.
averaging 80 tackles a game, while Pleasant Grove has 57. And what that tells me is that that Nevada Union has defense has been on the field for a long time. So let's take a look at the Mill Street Clothing scoreboard before we watch this kickoff. And obviously Pleasant Grove is up 7-0 in early action in the first quarter. Miners will hope to turn it around. So the kick is up. Kicking from the 35-yard line. It was Berger back in the game. Cuts it up the middle and out over the 20-yard line. 25, out to the 25-yard line, 1st and 10, Nevada Union.
It's good to see Berger out there. I saw a trainer working with him trying to establish where in his shoulder he was injured, but it must not have been that bad if he's out there on a kickoff.
Good point. So Loper looks like he's going to be the guy they're going to ride tonight in the quarterback position, as their offense had sputtered the first 2 games. They go to the third back and is tackled by a host of Pleasant Grove players. There were white jerseys all over him.
Yeah, Noxon never really got out to the corner. It was swallowed up pretty quickly.
We've got Brock Grinninger into the game. You'll see him out on the far side. We've got Gareth Noxon tried the edge. Let's jump back and take a quick peek at the kickoff in slow motion.
Yeah, there's the fake handoff that Nevada Union likes to do, and Berger just turns up, nice stutter step, completely fools that defender, tries to get back in the middle, gets some good blocks. Berger finally wrapped up there just over his own 20.
Miners throw the ball out into the flat. Out to Berger, pick up about 4. There's a late flag out on the field.
Berger getting a lot of calls.
Yeah, it would be a significant loss. It is on the Miners on a hold. So they'll march that one back.
Nevada Union looking at a 3rd and long situation. Oh no, Pleasant Grove going to wave it off, wanting to keep Nevada Union in 4th down. So it'll be 4th and 5. And
this will be J.D. Atkinson. We called his name last week as the team's kicker. And he takes the ball at the 15. Good kick out to the 36-yard line. And look, there's Jake Berger. That's a big-time tackle in the open field.
That's about
a very skilled runner.
About a 35-yard kick and no return. And there was some room there. That was number 7, DeAndre Terrell. There was some room for him to run, and Berger just swallowed him up.
It's not often that you see a team put their quarterback in the kick return position.
Well, Pleasant Grove is a very deep squad. They have quite a few quarterbacks to call upon if necessary.
Terrell up at the line, drop back. Long pass to number 19. Another quick strike for Pleasant Grove. Touchdown. 2 quick, long plays for the Eagles as they push their lead even further. They've rather silenced the Miners crowd.
Well, I suppose the positive you can look at is that the Miner defense isn't on the field very long.
So they're well rested.
Well rested, but you never really want to give up a 64-yard pass.
Kick is good. 14-0 with 5:26 to play in the first quarter. Miners defense not looking as quite as stout as last week in the early action. There's a lot of speed on this Pleasant Grove team, Steve. Okay, let's take a peek at the Mill Street Clothing scoreboard. The Miners trailing 14-0 in early going here. After that first drive, the way it started out, I was really feeling as if the Miners were going to compete against this 2-0 team, who's ranked number 4 in the Sacramento area. The Miners have had a rough start. I was looking it up, and they played McQueen, who's number 12 in Nevada, the entire state of Nevada. Grant is sitting at number 5, and then you take on Pleasant Grove at number 4. Tough start. Takes the kick and out over the 22 to maybe the 23-yard line. Again, first down, Miners by Berger.
Yeah, this Nevada Union team is young, relatively inexperienced, and they're going up against very deep, very tough squads early in their season. That has to be a bit demoralizing. But they have shuffled around some players, new starters, just trying to get some sort of rhythm, some sort of leadership, something together, some sort of structure.
Up the gut. Big hit. That was Gareth Noxon up the middle. He took a big blow. I was reading in the Elk Grove Citizen quote from the coach, Joe Catalico, and I'll get to that here after the next play. That was rather poignant. Nevada Union takes the snap. Drop back, under pressure, and he threw that about 15 yards out of bounds.
Yeah, that was a very accurate pass to the cheerleaders.
So the coach says here, he said it does make it tough, admitting that he has no other choice but to front load his non-conference schedule with difficult teams that are willing to play them. Every 7 days you have to get ready for another physical tough game. That's how it is. And that says the same thing for the Miners. They want to play tough teams because they have hopes of winning a section championship, and you have to play dominant teams to get there. Miners back pitch out on the edge, nothing. The speed on the edge is significant. That's number 19 for Pleasant Grove. That's Wyatt Demps. Was he the guy that caught the touchdown?
He was.
He was. He's a big kid, and he's very fast. So the Miners now have 4th down again, where they'll kick it away at roughly their 17-yard line. Terrell is back. He has to back up to the 31-yard line. He bounces it outside, bounces it out even further, cuts it up. And there's a flag on the play, probably a late hit.
That's very possible. Maybe a block to the back. I saw a Nevada Union player flying into the sidelines.
They'll mark the ball at the Miners, inside the Miners territory. And the call did go against Pleasant Grove. Most likely a block in the back.
Yeah, that is the call.
That is the call.
That is Pleasant Grove's 3rd penalty. Let's take a look at this punt return as number 7, DeAndre Terrell, bounces outside after shaking 2 fairly open tackles. Jukes back, and I think we're going to see it right coming up right here. There's a little bit of room, and there's the block right there to looks like number 42, J.D. Atkinson, as he is finally brought down.
So on the first play on the opening on the drive here, we had number 6, Brandon Lewis. That's a new name to us tonight. He took the ball up the middle, picked up about 7 yards by bouncing it again outside to the short side of the field. Terrell comes up under center. Drop back, there's a blitz, missed him. Terrell bouncing it up. Oh, there he goes, up the middle, out over the 35-yard line, taken down at the 32-yard line, 1st and 10.
So already we've seen this Pleasant Grove offense has some very, very effective weapons. They have a quarterback that can throw and run. They have a big running back who can just plow through and find holes for himself. And even if he can't, he can drag 6 Miners players along with him as he picks up more yards. Pleasant Grove really has a lot of options.
They definitely do. Terrell, he's a cat. He's quick, up the gut, and he's dragging 2-3 guys with him for 4 or 5 yards. This is a sustained drive again. At least they haven't busted it open for a big play like they had for the first 2 touchdowns, which were roughly 35, 40-yard scores.
And in the case of the pass to Wyatt Demps, it was 60-plus. So Nevada Union right now just looking to limit the gains and just force a turnover like they did on the first drive.
Terrell under center, drops back to pass. He's picked. That's Gareth Noxon. Intercepts the ball at about the 5-yard line, takes it out over the 30, 1st and 10 Miners.
And that is another costly turnover for Pleasant Grove. Looks like they got a little greedy, tried to shoot for the end zone, and made a very ill-timed pass that Noxon just stepped right in front of.
Terrell came into the contest with only 1 interception on 2 throwing touchdowns. NU back to pass. He has somebody open. Hits number 80 at the 45-yard line. Let's take a look at that interception here, Steve.
Yeah, he has a lot of time. Terrell makes the throw, and there's Noxon just sitting right there waiting for it. It was not fooled at all. It was just in the perfect position. Had great blocks. Runs it for about 30 yards. Afterwards, it was just a great defensive play.
Nevada Union tries to run it up the middle. Not a lot of space in there, but they do pick up a couple. 2nd down and about 4. Anything over the 30 is 1st and 10 Miners. Looks like Spillner has entered the game as he drops back and overthrows the receiver out on the far side. It's interesting how this Nevada Union team, they've been switching quarterbacks. Last game we saw 2 being used, and again tonight there's 2 being deployed. We haven't seen Tapia as of yet.
It looks like Nevada Union wants to vary their offense. They still haven't gotten away from the pass. They're 2 for 5, but their run game has been very consistent.
Miners trying to run the ball up the gut, handing the ball off to Brandon Lopez, senior, 5'7", 210. He comes up hobbling a little bit. He's a big kid. Last week we saw a lot of the smaller guys getting the touches against that big up front Grant team, which was not real effective.
And it looks like on 4th and 4 they're going to go for it again. Last time they tried a screen pass.
We've got a timeout called by the Miners. So Spillner comes into the game. We've seen Loper. Loper looked good early. As we have head coach Dennis Houlihan out there looking to inspire his team to pick up the 4th down here. Move the chains about 4 yards. They've moved the ball very well through the air so far, which I'm pleasantly surprised.
Yeah, Nevada Union is 2 for 5 in the air, 1 for a very big gain, and that came out of the hands of Spillner. And I have a feeling they're going to go back to him again for this play.
Spillner under center. We have Owens and Berger in the backfield, and it's Berger's number that gets called. It will be 1st and 10 Eagles.
And that's 2 turnover on downs for Nevada Union. So they cannot quite figure out how to get the yards when they really need them.
I do recall last week, I don't believe that the Miners got on the other side of the 50-yard line until the second half. So this is improvement. This team is looking better, more consistent. Terrell, quick pitch to the outside to number 11, and that's Morris. He picks up about 4, make that 5.
Yeah, Morris is a big guy. I have a feeling we'll see the ball in his hands when Pleasant Grove wants to soften the Nevada Union defense, maybe for a big pass like we saw a couple drives ago.
Terrell again under center, right up the middle. Nevada Union stops him, maybe a yard gain. It'll be 3rd down and about 3. That's the end of the first quarter with the score of 14-0. You are watching exclusive coverage of Nevada Union Miner football on Touchdown Productions Network.
Foothill Flowers has been owned and operated by the Johnson family since 1966. Our flowers are hand-picked at the San Francisco Flower Mart, and we get fresh shipments from Hawaii every week. We specialize in unique arrangements for any occasion. Our design staff has 80 years of experience. Every order comes with a 100% satisfaction guarantee. Foothill Flowers, quality and service since 1966.
And of course, brought to you by Touchdown Productions, the Foothill leader in sports television. This is Gil Dominguez saying thanks for joining us tonight, and be sure to stay with us after the game when we announce the Bill Slade and Sons Trucking Player of the Game, created by Stuckey Engravers. Once again, the Touchdown Productions sports team will select the most deserving NU player and honor them with a beautiful plaque made by Stuckey's. So stay tuned after the game for the Bill Slade and Sons Trucking Player of the Game Award, created by Stuckey Engravers, and coming up immediately after this exclusive telecast.
Welcome back for the second quarter here at Hooper Stadium with the score of 14-0 in favor of the visiting team, the Pleasant Grove Eagles, as their quarterback Terrell under center hands the ball up the middle for little to no gain out over the 42, maybe the 43-yard line, and it will be 4th down.
Yeah, 4th and 2. It looks like Pleasant Grove is going to go for it, and they really don't have much reason not to with all the offensive weapons they have. Gaining 2 yards shouldn't be too terribly difficult, at least in the eyes of the Eagles.
Snap. He was tackled early behind the line, but he was able to slither his way out over the 46-yard line for a 1st down. Gutsy play on the inside of your 50-yard line.
Yeah, it just shows what confidence Pleasant Grove has in their offensive line. Damari Morris is listed as 5'11", 175, but I mean, from up here, he's playing like a guy 5 inches taller and 50 pounds heavier with how he's able to drag these Miners.
He definitely plays as a bruiser back. Again, Terrell under center. We have a blitz. We'll get him for a loss maybe. And do at the 41-yard line.
That's going to be a loss of about 6.
You know, that's a real good call to pressure him like that, blitzing that linebacker. And that was number 63 on the move, Josh Belendez, junior, 5'9", 203. It flushed him out.
Yeah, he just powered right through the middle.
So that's going to be 2nd down and about 20. Pleasant Grove back to pass. Oh, looking for number 3 well down the field. Easily Simmons. Terrell easily overthrew him. He probably couldn't believe how open he was.
Yeah, he had a good amount of time to just set his feet, make the throw, and I feel like he got a bit impatient. Didn't put enough loft on it, just make it a nice, easy catch for his receiver, and just kind of tried to fire it in there.
Looked like a broken play on defense, missed assignment.
Yeah, Simmons was, there was no one around him for about 20 yards.
Oh, somebody's going to be jumping early, and that looks like it's going to be Earl Chisholm, number 18. False start on the offense. So this will be 3rd down and about a mile.
We have seen that Pleasant Grove can make this. They can pick this up. And I have a feeling we'll see a play much like the previous one with a big pass downfield. Terrell has a very good arm in terms of strength. He can get it there.
And you know, he throws it underneath to number 3. Picks up about 10, but he needed about 20. It was Simmons on the catch. So it'll be 4th down and about 10. But they bring their kicker in, and that's Kevin Mack, who will be kicking off, and Berger will be deep to receive. He's set up at about the 20. Snap is underway. He lets it fly from the 40. Berger, fair catch. 1st and 10 Miners from the 11-yard line.
About a 33-yard punt there.
Let's take a peek at the Mill Street Clothing scoreboard. Again, we're standing here at 14-0 Pleasant Grove. Pleasant Grove scored on 2 big hits, one through the air for 60 yards, one for about 45 yards on the ground. 2 big plays have set up both of the scores. Here are the Miners, and that's Spillner on a quick pitch out to Gareth Noxon. Picks up maybe 2.
Nevada Union continuing to run the ball. That was their 14th run play compared to only 5 pass plays. Getting low to moderate gains on the run, but it at least keeps the momentum on their side.
I'll correct that. They picked up about 6 yards on that play there. They're at about their 18-yard line. Handoff up the middle. Picked up about 2. It'll be 3rd down and about 2 yards.
And let's take a look at the replay on this pitch. Getting to the outside, you can see the defensive backs and the linebackers really do a good job of getting in there and swarming around Knox and forcing him outside without really much running room. And that's a big thing to do for a linebacker to keep up with Noxon, who is very fast.
Spillner under center to open the 2nd quarter drive. Handoff. Bouncing on the outside is Jake Berger. Flag on the play. Pleasant Grove feels that it's against the Miners. Looks like it's a loss of about 3. Looks like we'll be punting away from the Miners' end. That's J.D. Atkinson, punter, number 42, with Terrell, quarterback, back deep, along with his favorite target, wide receiver, number 19, Wyatt Demps.
Ooh, a low snap.
With a fair catch, it'll be 1st and 10 Eagles from their own 48-yard line.
Consistent punting for both teams. Pleasant Grove only has the 1 for 33, but Nevada Union's punts have gone for 34, 33, and 31. And there's really not much more you can ask for from a high school punter other than consistency.
And he does a nice job of kicking the ball into a spiral, which allows it the opportunity to hang in the air a little longer. So the defense for the Miners back on the field. We have Morris in the backfield. Morris takes the handoff, bounces to the outside. There's a flag on the play. He picks up about 6 into Miner territory to about the 46-yard line, but the penalty will go against the team in white. They will march that back. Penalties have hurt the Eagles here tonight. Killing drive, long second and third down plays.
Yeah, this is the second time that penalty has really made it hard for the Pleasant Grove offense with a couple of early holding calls that probably weren't even that necessary. The other 3 penalties, I believe, were on either kickoffs or punts. So in the long run, those don't really mean too much by themselves. But at 5 penalties in the first half already, that's something to definitely look at later on in the game.
So they have about 24 yards to gain here. Lots of time. Flips it underneath to Morris. Out over the 50 to the 48-yard line into Nevada Union territory. Morris gets the ball a lot.
He does, and the way he runs with it and what he does after he has the ball is the reason. When you look at him on paper, he's really not that big or imposing, but once he has the ball, he puts all of his weight forward, so even if he gets hit, it just knocks him back and makes him more stable. So he's able to pick up these big yards after carries and after catches.
Okay, here we go. We have second down and about 6. Terrell under center. Sends a man in motion. Morris again up the middle. Tackled by a host. Primary tackler is the fullback, Brandon Lopez, who's coming off the field. He's been busy tonight, playing both ways. 3rd and 4 for the Eagles. We've got Easy Simmons to the close side. Again, a blitz up the middle. Morris looks like he's picked up the first down in a big pile push. Looks like rugby out there. Out to the 40. The center of the scrum. First down.
It's just amazing watching him run. He gets almost horizontal when a hit is about to take place. So it doesn't really matter how hard of a hit you put on him. All it'll do is knock him upright. So without 2 guys there to lay hits together, it's going to be very hard to stop him.
Okay, 1st and 10 from the 40. Terrell back to pass. Under pressure. Pitches it to his fullback. And that is Mayberry, Enos Mayberry. Tackled by Petnato.
And they're going to give him the first down on it.
And Davi Petnato, for those of you playing at home alone at home, that would be Petnato is wearing number 79, not 80 as he traditionally does. Morris outside solo tackle, shoestring by Noxon. If he didn't pick him up, he was gone.
That was a very good tackle on a guy who is not easy to tackle.
Second down and about 2.
Yeah, let's take a look at this. Breaks to the outside, but not giving up, dives, just gets both his legs enough to trip him up. That was very good form there by Noxon.
Terrell hands it off to Morris up the gut. Bounces to the outside, a race to the pylon. Touchdown, Eagles. With 4:13 to go in the second quarter, we have 20-0 Pleasant Grove prior to the kick. We have Terrell, the holder. Busy man tonight, that number 7. Good snap. Kick is up. Signal is good. 21-0. Pleasant Grove.
Nevada Union's defense on that drive did not look that bad. They did a very good job of limiting damage, did a good job of pushing them back when they really needed a stop, but always third down or fourth and short. Pleasant Grove seems to find a way to keep the drive alive, whether it's in the hands of DeAndre Terrell or Damari Morris or easily Simmons.
It's a good team, and we've seen a couple of good teams this year. So here's the Mill Street Clothing scoreboard. Pleasant Grove scoring 14 in the first quarter and then tacking on 7 just now. We sit at 21-0, and we have 4:13 to go in the first. Kick will be underway here. It's a shorter kick. And he brings it out over the 25-yard line. And that's number 20 who brought it over. That's Isaac Rodriguez, Jr., 5'5", 140. That was a nice quick run. He has good speed.
He does. It's a wonder we haven't seen him run the ball yet. He had a good amount of room, and he took it.
So Spillner still in the game under center. They come quick to the line. He drops back. Quick pass out to number 80. Tackled by number 3. That's Simmons again.
Completed pass to number 80, Drew Daniels.
And that's out to Daniels, number 80.
I think NU realized that Pleasant Grove was anticipating the run, so decided to drop back and hope for a screen pass with good blocking upfield, trying to mix things up.
And much like last week, they've really jammed the line. That's Spillner dropping back, and he throws it into a crowd, and that's number 15 who has intercepted the ball, and he's taking it up the sideline, and it's a race to the pylon. Touchdown, Eagles. That's Cedric Thomas with the interception and the run back. Touchdown. Quick score here. Well, what I've noticed is the Grant and now tonight the Pleasant Grove team, their defensive backs, their safeties are less than 8 yards from the line. They're saying, beat me with the pass. And they attempt. And the kick is good.
It's good.
Takes us to 27 in favor of the visiting team.
Now let's take a look at this. He has time to throw. He has a completely empty pocket. Just overshoots his mark. You can see the receiver there, Berger, knows that he's not going to catch it, so he goes for the tackle before it's even intercepted, but he just can't seem to bring down the Pleasant Grove interceptor. And you can see 2 big blockers right there, so you need at least 3 guys to try and get in there for the tackle. And Nevada Union just doesn't recover fast enough. And to his credit, Cedric Thomas is very fast. As you can see, he just burns Nevada Union getting into the end zone. And you take a look at the Mill Street Clothing scoreboard. You can see Pleasant Grove with 14 points in the first quarter and 14 so far in the second.
Squib kicked. That's Berger, picked it up, carries it out over the 25-yard line. 1st and 10 Miners. Well, the Miners are going to need to get something going here. They're trailing 28-0. And other than a couple of drives to the 40, they're really having a difficult time as Pleasant Grove clamps down once they get into their own territory.
Yeah, I anticipate Nevada Union will need to get some sort of passing game together in order to be successful.
And Loper is back in the game under center. That's a handoff, looked like to Lopez for a pickup of about 4.
I think if you're Nevada Union, you try to get any amount of points before the end of the half right now. You'll settle for a field goal if it means that you don't take a 0 into the locker room at halftime.
It's been a tough start to the season for this team. Under center. That's Gareth Noxon.
Yeah, that play was sniffed out before it really had a chance to develop.
That's a loss of 2. 3rd and 8. Spillner back in the game at quarterback. I would suspect it's going to be a pass play. He's in the shotgun formation. He drops back. He had a receiver almost picked off by number 3, Simmons, who had it just go through his hands. Miners will kick it away.
Yeah, that interception would have been catastrophic because there was no one for Nevada Union on that line that was going to stop him. He had the entire sideline open if he could have hauled that catch in.
So Atkinson will kick it away. We have Terrell deep, and Demps calls for the fair catch. 1st and 10 at the 38-yard line.
And about a 35-yard punt. So the Eagles take the field on offense again with 1:54 left in the half. And they really haven't had to alter their offensive strategy too much, with the exception of a fumble on the opening drive and a later interception. They've really just been in the driver's seat.
Terrell and Morris have been the features tonight. Terrell back to pass. He gets it out over to Demps, who runs it out over the 45-yard line for a first down, a pickup of about 15 yards.
The Pleasant Grove passing game this quarter has been formidable. They're 4 for 5 on completions, and I'm pretty sure all 4 of those have been relatively short passes with big gains after the catch. And that seems to be their game, is run it up the middle and then drop back to pass, drop it off. And you'll see that in the replay here after this play.
Okay, we got Terrell again under center. Morris in the backfield. He drops back, throws it out wide open. Host of Miners attempt to drag him down if he does pick up 2-3 yards after.
So now let's take a look at the replay of that last pass. All the time, just a short pass right over the middle. Very well placed so that it couldn't be deflected, and just lots of room to run. Nevada Union corrals him over to the sideline, but even then can't really get a tackle on him as they kind of just let him run out of bounds.
Okay, back to live action. We have Coach Delbon and Coach Houlihan talking to the boys, most likely giving them a breather, since again tonight they've been out on the field a tremendous amount. The offense not giving them much of a rest. Here's our scoreboard, Mill Street Clothing scoreboard. We have a pair of 14s at this point for 28 points. We're sitting at a minute and 33, so the Miners looking to stop here and not give up the score before the half. I guess that would be the moral victory going into the locker room. This Pleasant Grove team, another good team we're watching play tonight. Very seasoned, well-executing team.
Yeah, it's very clear why they're ranked number 4 in the section.
Terrell still in the game under center. Hands it off. Breaks a couple of tackles. Number 6 bounces it to the outside. Touchdown, Eagles. That's Brandon Lewis, a senior, 5'11", 180. Broke 1 tackle 3 yards into the line of scrimmage and hustled it for a 20-yard touchdown run.
Yeah, Lewis saw that there was nothing going on in the center, so he kicks it out to the left, and I don't think Nevada Union was ready for him to go that direction.
Terrell holds. Phillips' kick is good. 34-0.
Yeah, let's take a look at this run. You can see Terrell under center right there, sizes up the defense. There's the snap. You can see, pretty good job by Nevada Union getting in the middle, kind of securing it. Just slips through that tackle and then kicks left, and there's just no one there. You see two white jerseys and a whole lot of open space, and there he goes. Just off to the races. All he had to beat was Stephen DeMoss, and he really never had a shot.
Mill Street Clothing scoreboard here. We have 14 in the first quarter for Pleasant Grove and 21 in the second as we look at a minute and 25 to play with 2 goose eggs for the Miners. The kick is in the air. And that's Travis Owens that took it at the goal line. He breaks it to the outside, out over the roughly the 30. First and 10 Miners, a minute and 15 to play before the half from their own 30-yard line.
So Nevada Union with a minute 15 left, starting on their own 30. 2 timeouts left. They have sufficient time to put a score on the board, and I think that's the ultimate goal here.
They run the ball up the middle, pushed back by a host of white jerseys. That's Berger again.
Gained maybe about 2 yards.
Chase Loper back in the game at the quarterback position. Quick snap, roll out, throws the ball, and a dropped pass by number 33, Brock Greninger.
That was very well protected there. Number 15, Cedric Thomas for Pleasant Grove was all over that, maybe a bit too all over it, but there's no flag, and it's going to be another 3rd and long situation. Yeah, let's take a look. There's the pass, well protected again, and just comes over the top to break that pass up, dragging him down. And an official right there, no call.
Wildly athletic play by the Eagles. Where's the ball? Oh, number 24 right there, running it out of bounds is Jake Berger. I can admit I was faked out.
There's going to be a flag, and Berger looks a bit disappointed.
I guess that's why Coach Houlihan's talking to him right now.
The official's talking it over. I think Berger may have said something to an official or maybe to a Pleasant Grove player, and the official was right on top of it. Yeah, after the play.
Goes against the Miners.
I believe that's unsportsmanlike conduct.
You know, it's never a good idea to do that right in front of your coach.
No. No, probably not. It's not a good idea to do it, period, but that was maybe the worst possible place for him to do that.
Berger back in the game after that discussion. Let's take a look at the play there.
Yeah, here it is, Berger on the ground. Comes up, spiked the football. In frustration, the official was right on top of it.
Loper pitches it out.
That's Berger
Still
again.
Nothing. Look at that 5'6" white jerseys. Berger's taking on an Army tonight.
Yeah, this whole Nevada Union team, it must feel like Pleasant Grove has about 3 more guys on the field than they do.
There's 12 seconds, so this very well could be the last play.
Yeah, I believe it is. I don't think they're going to get this play off.
2nd down and 8. Looks like the Miners will just take this into the locker room as they trail 35-0 to the visiting team from Pleasant Grove, who again is the number 4 team in this section. Very skilled team. So here's the Mill Street Clothing scoreboard. Nevada Union has struggled all night to put the ball in the end zone as they have 2 goose eggs. Pleasant Grove, on the other hand, they have 14 in the first and 21 in the second for a total of 35-0. Okay, we're going to take a break here. We'll come back, take a look at the band and the cheerleaders. You are watching exclusive coverage of Nevada Union Minor football on Touchdown Productions.
It's time to visit the newly remodeled B&C True Value Home and Garden Center. The new B&C has completely changed for your shopping convenience. Their new expanded garden center has everything you need, including expert advice on trees, shrubs, and perennials. Check out their new website and the new spring hours. And thank you for voting B&C the best hardware and building supply in 2012. So start right, start here at B&C True Value Home and Garden Center. The Hauser family reminds you if it's round, rubber, and it rolls, then you're sure to find it at Plaza Tire and Auto Service. From regular car and truck tires to small specialty tires for your trailers and golf carts, you can trust Plaza Tire has the tire for you. They stake their reputations on it every day. Plaza Tire and Auto Service. Auto repair done on your schedule, not theirs, in Penn Valley, Nevada City, and in Colfax. The Old Town Cafe is the oldest continuously operating restaurant in Grass Valley. Serving breakfast and lunch 7 days a week, the Old Town Cafe is now open for dinner every Friday and Saturday night with nightly specials like steaks, seafood, along with draft beer and wine. Stop by to see Monday Night Football at the OTC with drink and appetizer specials. It's football fun for the whole family at the Old Town Cafe.
Mike Bratton is the neighbor you can count on for your most important insurance decisions, 24 hours a day.
The first step begins with a phone call. Hi, I'm Mike Bratton, your good neighbor State Farm agent, and I look forward to hearing from you. Since 1984, my team and I have been educating clients and developing long-term relationships through personalized and professional guidance on their insurance programs. We will put you in the driver's seat and strive to enhance each encounter you have with us.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Okay, so it's 35-0 at half as we enjoy the cheerleaders as they come off the field. Great spirit. Okay, so we'll take a moment here to watch the Nevada Union Minor Marching Band as they put on a show for us here at halftime.
Yeah, the first marching band performance of the year.
Fantastic.
Marching band under the direction of Mr. Ken Carter. Let's show your blue and gold support for the Nevada Union Marching Band.
put on a routine of their own. So, Steve, the first half, what do you have is along the lines of statistics that jump off your page?
Well, the completion percentage in the aerial attack is the biggest contradiction I see. Pleasant Grove is 6 for 8. They were 5 for 6 in the second quarter. That's a 75% completion rating, whereas Nevada Union is at 33%, which granted is higher than their season average, but is still not anywhere close to where they want to be. They stuck mostly to runs. They ran the ball 21 times, but never really got a breakout. Nothing with any sort of momentum. It was all just sort of folded in. Pleasant Grove really only threw the ball 8 times, but you wouldn't know it to look at DeAndre Terrell throw it. He's very good, and with the exception of the interception in the first quarter, that was really the only weakness I saw out of Pleasant Grove in that half, was that one very ill-chosen pass. Running the ball 15 times, and if you look at that, that's 23 offensive plays compared to Nevada Union's 30. So Nevada Union has had many opportunities, and they just haven't really been able to capitalize on them.
Fantastic. Great story. Appreciate the numbers. We'll take this time right now to go down on the field with Gilbert Dominguez, who is standing with the Union's sports editor, Walter Ford. Gil?
Yeah, you got to be able to remember Walter's name. He was your cohort last year down here on the track, right?
That's very true. Good to see you, Walter.
How's it going, Hop?
Very good, thank you.
That's right. It was the Hop Hop show back then. Well, joining me here at the sidelines is Walter Ford from the Union. Walter, I have to say it was a little bit of a blistering article on Tuesday over the Grant game.
I wish there was more good, positive things to say, but as we can see, the Miners are still continuing to struggle both offensively and defensively. It seems they can't stop the pass or the run for that matter, and then they can't string together more than 2 first downs in a row.
Well, that's going to be a problem, I think. We got a rookie team here, a new coach, not too many seniors. One thing is that NU fans aren't really used to seeing this.
No, but this isn't, for those who know the football game and know Nevada Union football, this wasn't too unexpected. It's a very young squad. They were hit hard with injuries and academic problems early in the season, and they're doing the best they can, but as you can tell by the stands, it's getting thinner and thinner out here.
Well, I know, and this is week 3 now. The Miners go on the road next week. They'll be traveling over to Chico, but actually playing at Pleasant Grove High School. I know it's Pleasant Valley.
Pleasant Valley, yeah. They'll be playing at Pleasant Valley on a Saturday game. So maybe hitting the road or a change of scenery, maybe something will spark something in these Miners, and we can look forward to a better performance than what we're seeing tonight.
And, of course, like Walter said, that's going to be on Saturday. So it's a triple hitter, as I understand it, right?
That's right. Over in Chico High doesn't have their own football field, so they share Pleasant Valley's football field as well.
Right. We've been there before. We will not be going there. Next week we're going over to see Bear River and Highlands play.
Okay. Well, and Bear River's got a very good squad. A lot of strong running backs. Not a ton of speed, but kids that hit hard when they hit the hole.
Well, Bear River, Terry Logue, Scott Savoy, legends in the community just like Dave Humphers was. And once again, they're out to a fast start.
That's right. Bear River, has started well the last couple years in the preseason, and then they, see what they're really made of once the PVL gets started. But so far this season, they look good. I know that we got Brian Shepard over covering them tonight, and going up against the Woodland team, we're expecting another win.
Well, and of course over there at Bear River, they're in first place statistically because they've only allowed 7 points, so another great Terry Logue defense.
Absolutely, and Logue's been an institution over there for years now, decades, and I actually got the pleasure of being a football player under him when I was a youth, and great mind, great motivator, and kids buy into his system.
Well, they do, and like you said, it's a Bear River tradition. Talking about that PVL, Colfax out to their normal. They had a little bit of a hiccup last year, but they seem strong again, going out 2-0.
Absolutely. After going 2-8 last year, the thing that comes out of Coach Martello's mouth the most often is maturity, is that they had to learn to be as good as they are this year by having to lose last year. And you're seeing it in their quarterback. He's coming in tonight with 7 touchdowns, no interceptions, and they look like a quality squad.
Well, Martello likes to throw the ball.
Absolutely, and it's working, so why not?
Well, there were several generations there of just outstanding Colfax quarterbacks that would routinely throw for a lot of touchdowns each year.
Absolutely, and whereas Nevada Union has the tradition of wing T and running the ball, Colfax has built that tradition as a pass-heavy team, and it's fared well for them throughout the years.
Now, another team struggling here in the foothills that you might have been reading about is the Placer Hillman. Joey Montoya, several trips to the playoffs, one trip to the championship game, and all of a sudden the wheels are coming off a little bit.
Central Catholic and Christian Brothers are no joke teams, though. They've gone up against some really quality squads. Central Catholic state champions a year ago. Christian Brothers always turns out a quality squad. So I think Placer, what they did is they put themselves up against some pretty stiff competition, and they're finding out just how hard the Sac Joaquin section can be.
Well, they are, and I was reading some of Joey's comments or hearing them, actually. I saw a little video. And, he's saying they're young, they're still learning. He sounded a little bit like Dave Humphreys.
Well, and that's the thing we're going to see year in and year out. You get 2 years with these kids. They're either juniors or seniors, and sometimes you're heavy on the juniors and sometimes you're heavy on the seniors. Just happens to be for the Placer and the minors, heavier on the juniors this season.
Now, a nice article on volleyball today. We haven't seen the Lady Miners yet this year, but there's starting to have some expectations for that club.
Really deep squad, lots of seniors, power hitters, and Lauren Meckel. And then you got the likes of Sydney Porter and Jen Meyer. There's just a lot of talent on that team. And Marco Salcedo, the coach, is always optimistic about his teams, boys or girls, always has the section or bus mentality. And these girls really believe it this year. They're a really quality squad.
All right, well, that's our wrap-up of all the foothill sports. Of course, our guest, Walter Ford from the Union. Walter, thanks a lot for stopping by here at halftime at the game of the week. Wish the score was a little bit different, but we'll see what the second half brings.
Right on. Thank you, Gil.
All right, Walter Ford there as we get ready to bring you second half action. You're watching exclusive coverage of Nevada Union Minor football right here on the Touchdown Productions Sports Network.
Are you ready to buy or sell your home or property? Placer Title is your local title and escrow company located right here in the heart of Nevada County. We combine the stability of a national insurer with all the benefits of on-site title and escrow professionals. Being voted the best title company by the Union Readers for the past 7 years is a true testament to our local roots and unparalleled customer service. Stop by one of our 2 convenient locations and thank you for keeping your business local.
We're at SPD Market in Nevada City asking people what they like about SPD.
I love SPD Market because I know all the people here and I've been coming here for a long time. I do all my socializing here and they're just a great community supporter.
I like SPD Market because it's like coming home and seeing all the people I've known for years.
And that's why people love SPD Markets in Nevada City and Grass Valley.
Foothill Flowers has been owned and operated by the Johnson family since 1966. Our flowers are hand-picked at the San Francisco Flower Mart, and we get fresh shipments from Hawaii every week. We specialize in unique arrangements for any occasion. Our design staff has 80 years of experience. Every order comes with a 100% satisfaction guarantee. Foothill Flowers, quality and service since 1966.
And of course, brought to you by Touchdown Productions, the foothill leader in sports television. This is Gil Dominguez saying thanks for joining us tonight, and be sure to stay with us after the game when we announce the Bill Slade & Sons Trucking Player of the Game, created by Stuckey Engravers. Once again, the Touchdown Productions sports team will select the most deserving NU player and honor them with a beautiful plaque made by Stuckey's. So stay tuned after the game for the Bill Slade & Sons Trucking Player of the Game Award, created by Stuckey Engravers, and coming up immediately after this exclusive telecast.
Welcome back to the second half of Nevada Union Minor football as they look to turn around a 34-0 deficit against Pleasant Grove. As we begin the second half, the Miners will be playing offense to begin, so this will give them a chance to spark. Steve, as we look forward here, a 34-0 deficit is quite a significant comeback. What do you think they need to do?
Well, they need to find a consistent passing game. That should be first and foremost before they worry about anything else, before breaking open a run, wearing down the other team. They need to find a way to complete some passes. That will open everything up. Once they get Pleasant Grove to think, oh, okay, they're not afraid to bomb it, so we have to worry about that, get some guys back instead of just crashing the line of scrimmage. That'll solve so many of their problems. But we've seen a bunch of quarterback switches between Loper and Spillner that it's really hard to get any sort of rhythm going. And the run game has been pretty consistently stopped by Pleasant Grove's speedy defensive backs. So that's what I look for. I'm looking for more balls in the air that aren't caught by Pleasant Grove.
Very good. And the one thing that I'm noticing is, of the two quarterbacks that are, say last week there were two quarterbacks that were given the opportunity, neither one really stood out as to say, I am the guy. Again, this week we're seeing two quarterbacks again, and really they look about the same, not a clear starter in the bunch, and which puts the offense in a real difficult spot, and Coach Houlihan not being able to commit. So I think at some point one of the two guys is definitely going to have to step up and say, I am the guy, and we're going to live and die with him. If not, the timing of the receiver is thrown off because it's a different guy all the time.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And I think right now Houlihan has more confidence in Spillner, as we've seen a lot more handoffs from Loper when he's been in the game, and more pass attempts with Spillner.
Okay, here we go. We have the kickoff of the second half, and we have Berger back to receive. No fake handoff, just up the middle, looking for some daylight. He's taken down at the 25-yard line, 1st and 10 Miners from their own 25, looking to spark an offense as we begin the second half.
I think it's interesting to note in the first half, the two best field positions they've had at the start of a drive have been their own 40 and the Pleasant Grove 40. Both resulted in turnover on downs. So they really have not been able to take advantage of their good starts.
Loper starts at quarterback in the second half. He hands it off to Noxon, takes it out over the 30-yard line to about the 32. Good pickup to start the second half. It will be second down at about 4. Travis Owens comes in, replacing Berger. Quick to the line. Rollout with pressure. Gets it away without taking the sack for roughly about an 8 to 9 yard loss. Hit hard. Slow to get up is Loper. 3rd down and 4. Berger back in.
That was a good play on Loper's part, just to get the ball out in the vicinity of a receiver. Just give himself a chance, because taking that hit would have put them in another 3rd and long and really taken a lot of the chance of a sustained drive.
Quarterback keeper up the middle for a loss, maybe a yard. Loper did have a running back to pitch to on the outside, decided to keep it for the loss. So now we'll be at 4th down and 4. Looks like Atkinson will kick it away, who did a very nice job both last week and this week with his punting, as he's averaging over 30 yards a kick. I think that was announcer Jinx. Oh, no, Terrell picked it up as it looked like he was going to let it go out of bounds. 1st down from the 46-yard line. Eagles.
That was only about a 25-yard punt.
Well, I would imagine let's take a replay on that return.
Yeah, you see he's right on top of where that ball is going to land. Kicks right to him, and he sees just a little bit of running room, and he takes it. Pleasant Grove is not afraid to take those small gains and risk a big hit, which Nevada Union really hasn't been able to put on them consistently.
The Eagles still have their starting team in. That's number 36 up the gut for a big gain. And that's Chisholm, Darren Chisholm, number 36. He's a sophomore, 5'11", 190.
Picked up about 14 yards there. Pleasant Grove showing they have a lot of options.
I would anticipate some personnel changes here soon if they can get a score. Quick pitch, Terrell to number 6, who bounces outside, got a flag, and it's touchdown. Let's see if it will be called back. The flag is on the ground at the 34-yard line. It will be holding on the offense. That will come back.
Ball's going to be coming back. Penalties against the Eagles.
Another big Pleasant Grove penalty.
That's the second one to come back, isn't it, on a penalty?
I believe it is. And that is their 6th total penalty. And they've all been pretty big. Yeah, let's take a look at this replay. There's the big sweep. And then Lewis just puts on the gas and doesn't look back as he outruns Stephen DeMoss. But thankfully that will come back, and it's going to be first and about 15.
Terrell under center, drops back, under pressure, finds his receiver at the 32-yard line, too short of the first down. He did find Cedric Thomas out in the flat. Made a nice rollout pass on the move.
DeAndre Terrell has definitely shown his ability to scramble and to salvage a somewhat broken play with his speed and with his arm.
Brandon Lewis exits the game. Morris back in. It's number 36, drags a host. That's Chisholm. He takes it up to the 13-yard line. Powering up the gut. Running north and south for a first down. Eagles on a significant drive.
Yeah, here's the replay as he breaks 2 tackles, breaks a 3rd tackle, goes up against a 4th, and Berger just trying to hold on and drag him down. And it takes, let's see, 5 Miners to finally drag him down. That's Darren Chisholm, a 5'11" sophomore.
Well, the Miners made a stop there. That was on Brandon Lewis, who attempted to run it up the middle. Will be second down at about 8 from the 10-yard line.
2nd and 7 for the Eagles.
And it looks like Pleasant Grove is taking out a good amount of their starters.
Terrell still under center, handing it off to the sophomore up the middle again. Again, a host of Miners needed to take him to the ground. Second and 4, Terrell heading over to chat with his coach, getting the play, coming back in. We are seeing some new players coming into the game. We have Cedric Thomas leaving. Kevlin Mack exiting the game as well. We have a stacked backfield, 3 tailbacks. Goes to the 3rd one. Oh, that's number 11, Morris, up the gut for a 6-yard run for the touchdown. Scoring at will is Pleasant Grove.
And I'm not sure Morris was even touched. He had outstanding blocking that just cleared a hole for him right up the middle.
Terrell into hold. It's down, it's up. The kick is called no good.
And the kick is good.
Now let's take a look at this.
7:48 to
run.
go, third quarter.
You see the two tailbacks there,
Happy birthday.
and they are going to clear
Melissa
a
Wilcoxon,
very
60
big hole
years old today. Melissa,
for
happy
Morris.
birthday.
See, there they go. There's Morris with the ball. The tailbacks, boom, get the guy coming right up the middle, and there's just this hole that no one manages to fill.
So it's touchdown Miners. We have 7:48 to play in the third with a score of 41-0. Tough night for the Miners. 2 weeks in a row at home, having a tough time scoring. Okay, the Mill Street Clothing scoreboard. Again, we have the Miners now with triple zeros in the third and 14 in the giving up 14 in the first, 21 in the second, and now 6 in the third. The kick is now underway. It will be fielded. It will not be fielded. It will be a touchback. It will be first down Miners from the 20-yard line after the touchback. The crowd is real quiet and thinning up here in the stands. Undermotivated.
See Spillner coming into QB now.
Spillner, a sophomore, hands the ball off to Berger. Takes it out over the 25-yard line.
Got a couple more happy birthdays.
Second,
happy birthday,
5.
Emily Stoley. Happy birthday to Kylie Capello.
Owens comes into the game, giving Berger a little bit of a breather.
He's had a rough
Spillner
game.
Staying in under center. Back to pass. Throws it underneath to his fullback, who puts on a big hit. Taken down
Completed pass for
near the
Miners.
first
That's
down,
number
and they give him
44,
the first down. That's Brandon
picking
Lopez
up the first down for the
on a
Miners.
swing pass out of the flat
On the stop, number 15, Cedric Thomas.
from Spillner.
First down, Miners.
Berger back in the game. So we're getting a tandem here out of Jake Berger and Travis Owens.
Here's the replay. Fakes 2 handoffs, and that really does a good job of swinging the defense and spreading it out. There's a great pass.
Handoff to Noxon off the edge. Out over the 35-yard line. Second down and about 4.
And these are the kind of plays that Nevada Union really need to make the most of. Keep their foot on the gas, because so far in this game they've just managed to break even.
Spillner goes to the up back. Limited yardage. Maybe 1, maybe 2 yard lines. Third and about 2. Big time, big third down conversion here. Keep the drive alive. Hoping to keep the wind in the sails of the Miners. You have Owens and Berger in the backfield.
And this is the play you really need to make.
Spillner under center. Goes to the up back. Picks up the first down out over the 45 to the 47-yard line. First and 10 Miners.
On the carry for the Miners, that's number 24. Jake Berger picking up the first down for the Miners. Ball's on the
NU's continuing their march, getting quality gains, whereas in the first half they were pretty much limited to 2 and 3 yards at a time.
Handoff, Owens. Almost to the 45-yard line. Pleasant Grove's acting as if they got it. Yes, Pleasant Grove. Fumble, Owens.
That's Nevada Union's 4th turnover of the game, and you just can't do that against a team this good.
First and 10 from the 45-yard line.
45-yard line for Pleasant Grove.
Here's the replay as Owens gets good running room, but just swarmed by white jerseys. Not quite sure who popped the ball up, but you can see it. They're sitting on the 45, and Pleasant Grove just jumped all over it.
So when it comes time to grabbing a meal, make sure you patronize Charlie's Cafe or Paulette's Kitchen.
Pleasant Grove uncertain as to the direction of the play
Timeout,
call.
Elk Grove.
Both teams are headed to the sideline. I guess I missed it. Okay, we're going to take a look at the replay again, Steve.
Yeah, let's take a look at the end of this play as he gets hit there, and there's the ball sitting on the 35, on the 45. And no one seems to notice it, but one Pleasant Grove back. It just squibs out. There's two Miners right there that are in perfect position to pick it up, but no one's really sure of where the ball is. Pleasant Grove doing a very good job of swarming.
Looks like he might have gotten hit from behind on that inside lineman.
Yeah, and there's the ball out.
Okay, the wide receiver, Kaven Mack, is in at quarterback, and he hands off to number 6, Brandon Lewis, who says good night, touchdown, Eagles, from their own 45-yard line. I guess making subs didn't hurt their team at all.
No, not at all. It seems like no matter who they put out there, they seem to be at track practice.
Terrell Pryor coming back in the game as the holder. Pleasant Grove kicker Phillips trying to redeem himself, as the only mistake this team seems to have made tonight was a missed extra point. We have a flag.
I think this is going to be offsides.
Terrell believing that it's against the Miners. Signal on the Miners. It's an offside call.
Makes it about 1 yard closer.
So Terrell is the holder. Has the snap, the down, it's up. Phillips has redeemed himself. The kick is good. We stand at 48-0 with 5:15 to play in the third quarter. Rough night for the Miners and the Miner faithful. Here's the Mill Street Clothing scoreboard. Pleasant Grove has not had any trouble scoring in any quarter, while the Miners have had difficulty breaching the 50, and when they have, it's been a failed fourth down or a turnover, which has ultimately resulted in a touchdown going the other way.
And here we go.
Yeah, this is 4 Nevada Union turnovers, and as a result, 21 points off of turnovers for Pleasant Grove.
Berger and Noxon back. There's a whistle.
And a flag down. They're going to get Pleasant Grove for offsides again on a kickoff.
The kickoff team is excited about getting downfield. So it should give the Miners better field position as they move it back.
And that is 7 Pleasant Grove penalties compared to 4 for Nevada Union.
So Phillips will kick it away again. We have Berger and Owens back deep, standing at their 5-yard line. Phillips' kick is up. Looks like it will be Owens from about the 4, out over the 20, up to the 31-yard line.
Bring the ball back for the Miners. That's number 5.
Owens with about a 26-yard return.
Return to the 31-yard line. 1st and 10, Miners.
Yeah,
So
pretty good return there.
So at this point in time in the game, when you're down 48 points, it would be nice to just put a drive together and get a score, have something positive to take into the locker room and work through this following week, as they will travel to Chico next week, who lost the center in first week 20-18, as the Miners take the ball out over the 35-yard line. Second down
Got some
and about
churros
5.
right down in front, guys. If you want a churro, just raise your hand. The girls will bring it up to you. All the proceeds benefit girls basketball.
Chico usually a prolific passing
$2
team.
a churro. Raise your hand high. Churros, get your churros here.
Yeah, out of the shotgun, Spillner back. He gets the ball away to Daniels, short of the first down. Decision time for the coaching staff with the Miners.
Number 20.
I think that play is indicative of what Nevada Union needs to do more consistently, because that opens up so much offensively.
Under center. That's Loper. That'll be close and should receive the first down as they looked.
Yeah, let's take a look at this pass. Drops back, good protection. There's really no one from Pleasant Grove anywhere close. And a wide open short pass. All he needs to do is break this tackle, and he's got 5 more yards after the carry.
Miners back to pass that Spillner. Oh, the ball is tipped and falls incomplete on first down.
Number 80, Drew Daniels.
It was very well defended there as a Pleasant Grove lineman got a hand on it.
And that was number 80, Daniels, out in the flat. Loper under center, hands it off to Noxon for a no gain, possibly a loss.
For the Miners.
But I will agree with you that I like the passing game out of the Miners. You know, if we're looking at a rebuilding year or a rebuilding game for that matter, you know, getting the reps, working through a pass would be an ideal situation. As we have a rollout, we have a check down, and he's sacked. Spillner was hit hard by number 58.
Quarterback sack on the play.
And that's Kemp, Tyler Kemp.
Long for Nevada Union.
4th and about 16.
Yeah, let's take a look at this. Good protection on the side as he manages to slip that, but I don't even think he saw Kemp coming. And he had a long way to run to get there, so very well defended. But I really think Spillner needs to see that coming up the middle and just try and dump it off somewhere.
So we're on the field. We have a Pleasant Grove timeout with the score of 48-0 with 2:56 to play in the third. We're looking at the Mill Street Clothing scoreboard here. 48-0. Tough one. Tough to play, tough to be in a blue jersey. But I would imagine the fans over there on the other side in the white jerseys are extremely happy as they know when they come to Nevada Union, it's very difficult here.
Yeah, take a look at the defensive line here as everyone's just getting pushed backward. And after the initial hit that Kemp takes, he just rolls right off and has ample room to just run at Spillner and put together a pretty big hit.
Okay, we're looking at a 4th down, and we have Atkins punt away. It's shorter than he has been kicking the ball, and it does take a Pleasant Grove bounce. Number 3, Esley Simmons, was back to receive, but the ball didn't make it to him. So it will be down, first down at the 43-yard line, Pleasant Grove.
And so far this half, that is the worst field position Pleasant Grove has had. They've had the ball on their own 43, 45, and 46. They really haven't had to work too hard to move up the field when you're only playing on half of it.
Kalen Mack handed the ball off to Matinane.
That's number 26, Travis.
Number 26, the new tailback for the Eagles. And Matinane is a junior at 5'9", 175. It seems like they just keep pulling more and more tailbacks out of that white crowd on the opposite side. Very deep team. Handoff up the middle just short of the first down. It will be 3rd and about 2.
On the carry for the Eagles, number 26, Travis Mantanine.
It seems that no matter who they pull off of the bench, what formation they have, they're still able to get about 4-yard gains on every play.
Olajuwon Siders into the game, number 33. He's a linebacker. He was out earlier in the season with a foot injury. Didn't play last week against Rockland in the victory. And he gets his number called as he busts it out over the outside. He's down to the 20. He's down to the 10. Nobody's going to catch him. It's touchdown.
Eagles taking the ball in.
That's Siders.
The speed of just about everyone on Pleasant Grove is astounding. That foot injury clearly not bothering him anymore, as he was able to burn 3 defensive backs for Nevada Union.
And he's 6'1", and he's 210 pounds. He's a big guy with incredible second burst speed. Terrell back into hold. He'll hold the ball for Phillips. It is down. The kick is up. The signal is good. Pleasant Grove just keeps their foot on the gas.
Yeah, let's take a look at it. Speaking of foot on the gas, here's the handoff. Clean, and you can just see the hole right there forming on the right side as Pleasant Grove's line just keeps pushing Nevada Union back. And there's 2 Nevada Union defenders on either side of him. Noxon on the left, and you see Loper also, but none of them have a shot at catching him. He's just too fast.
Pleasant Grove kicker Phipps, he's been busy tonight. Lots of kickoffs, lots of extra point kicks. And he'll get one more shot here with 1:14 in the 3rd. The kick is in the air. The ball will be taken at the goal line, brought out over the 10, and a spectacular open field tackle by number 2, Christopher Lee from Pleasant Grove. That was Berger on the carry. 1st and 10 from the 15-yard line. Again, the Miners starting deep in their territory.
Yeah, the best start they've had is on their own 31. They're playing on a much larger field than Pleasant Grove.
Spillner under center, hands it off to the first back. That's their tailback. Brandon Lopez, a pickup of about 3.
And let's take a look at this kickoff. There's the fake handoff that Nevada Union likes to pull off, but Pleasant Grove didn't seem to be too fooled. As you see Berger try and make a move to the outside and just nothing doing, gets his legs raised out from under him, and he's hit hard. Berger having not a very fun night.
And as you catch the ball at the 20, if you let it go, it comes back to the 20 from the goal line, and you start 1st and 10 at the 15. Start wondering, the decision making of the receiver. Okay, here's the Mill Street Clothing scoreboard. Still Nevada Union holding on to those zeros. Pleasant Grove just keeps adding to it. The 14 and 21 and 13 as we sit, as the clothing scoreboard says 48, the Miners scoreboard at Hooper Stadium says 55 is the score. Tough night for the Miners.
Yeah, I think the Miners need to make some adjustments on defense. I think they really need to get more guys towards the middle. And I know that opens up the big pass down the line, but this late in the game, I don't think they really have to worry about that one big play. I think they need to worry about getting in the middle to prevent an even bigger play.
And when you're down and you really don't have a hope, I mean that, you really don't have a hope of coming back, just work on something and just use it as a practice game and improve in some area. But again, Pleasant Grove has put in maybe their second or third string by now, and the Miners are having a difficult time even moving the ball against their third string.
And we have a saying in baseball, it's speed never slumps. Your quarterback might be having a bad day, not being able to hit his mark, not having good timing, but you cannot just be slower in one day. If you have speed, that's an asset no matter what the situation.
Okay, we saw Spillner there attempting to throw the ball out in the flat to Travis Owens. He did get a hand on it, but maybe overthrew just a little. Nice tight spiral from the sophomore with nice pocket presence. Something positive to build on. He's getting reps. Okay, here we kick it away. It's 4th down and about 3. The kick is up. It's low. It takes the Nevada Union bounce. An opportunity here. There is a flag on the play.
I think this is going to be against Nevada Union for not letting the punt be received.
First down going the other way. The Miners just can't catch a break. Everything seems to be going Pleasant Grove's way.
Yeah, let's take a look at this replay. There's the low line drive of a kick. It bounces, goes up in the air, and they just go for the hit instead of going for the ball, and you can't do that.
Kalen Mack under center pitches it out to number 26, who takes it over the edge for about 6 yards. And that's Matanane.
Travis Matanane.
Pleasant Grove continuing their ground attack and still picking up decent yards.
We have a new quarterback in the game, and that's O'Brien. Kellen O'Brien hands the ball off to Lee, Christopher Lee, who takes it out over close to the first down, maybe a little shy.
And they're going to give it to him.
First down, Pleasant Grove.
I will say this on that play, there was a very good, just a single tackle. Just one guy against the ball carrier, bam, takes him down. You haven't seen that very much for Nevada Union tonight.
O'Brien hands the ball off up the middle to number 27, Del Rosario, Jonathan Del Rosario, a 5'5", 135 senior. That's a new name for us. They just keep coming.
And they keep producing, too.
They do.
This is a very deep, very offensive-minded team, and it shows on the scoreboard.
O'Brien, quick pitch to number 42, cuts the edge. He's at the 5. He's touchdown. Eagles. That's Corey Gonzalez. That's a new name, 5'7", 150, junior, who took the ball from about the 22-yard line in for a score with 8:07 to play.
And they are letting the clock run now.
Terrell again in to hold for Phillips, sorry. Little high snap. It's down.
It's good.
And the signal is good.
All right, let's hear it for those cheerleaders. We're going to introduce them one by one.
We'll take a look at the replay here.
Yeah, you can see a pretty standard I formation there from Pleasant Grove. That's Kellen O'Brien, the quarterback. And again, the line for Pleasant Grove just doing a great job of corralling everyone for Nevada Union in the middle and just not getting any push to the outside. And once he gets through the first line of Nevada Union, there is no second line. All he has to do is keep running and no one can catch him. So Nevada Union pretty much getting bullied at the line and burned in the backfield.
Phillips set to kick off. We have Owens and Rodriguez deep. And it will be Rodriguez taking it at the 10, out to the 20, up to the 25, to the 27-yard line. Good return by the junior, Isaac Rodriguez. Here's the Mill Street Clothing scoreboard. As you can see, the Eagles have punched it to 62-0 here in the fourth with this last score. The clock continues to run at 6:20 as the Miners quarterback Spillner under center rolls out, looking, throws the ball low as he was attempting to hit Jake Berger in the flat at the 30-yard line.
Jake Berger apparently okay after an apparent shoulder injury. He's still out there, still trying to help his team out.
Chase Loper, he's under center at this point. To the second back, Noxon at the 40 to the 50, 40, down to the 30, to the 20. He may be caught from behind. No, he's in. It's a touchdown. Miners are on the board. Gareth Noxon takes that from about the 28-yard line to the house.
71-yard run.
The crowd is getting back into the game as they have a touchdown late in the fourth. Danny Fan is the kicker in. The hold is down. The kick is up, and it is good. Danny Fan, senior, puts it through the uprights.
Let's take a look at this monster run again. And I'll admit to being completely faked out. I was looking at Berger. There's the fake. And he even fakes out our cameraman. And there, just everyone focused right on the middle. No one notices Noxon on the outside, sprinting and just trying not to fall, touch out of bounds or anything, as there's nothing but field. You can see him looking behind him. That's number 22, Sean Lagunde, and he almost catches him. He had about 20 yards to catch up to Noxon, and he almost closes that gap, but just runs out of room as Noxon gets in the end zone.
Mill Street Clothing scoreboard. Look, the Miners are on the board with 7 and 62 for the Eagles as we see the kickoff. The up back, number 2, breaks a tackle and breaks a second. That's Christopher Lee out to the 45-yard line with a 3:36 to play.
Some smooth moves there.
He looks good. 5'9", 175 out of that junior. They have a lot of juniors on that backfield.
Yeah, we might even hit double digits.
Kellen O'Brien in at quarterback, hands the ball off. The running back breaks a couple of tackles as he goes up the middle. And that's number 35, Derek Carroll. That's another new name. They just keep reloading.
Well, now isn't the time you want one of your starters to go down with a hamstring injury or anything like that.
Good call, Steve. Handoff. Host of Miners gang tackling. Playing with a little bit different tempo here on the blue team. as maybe that touchdown got them fired up a little bit, a little second, maybe third wind. As the clock continues to run, we're almost to inside of 2 minutes.
Pleasant Grove sticking with a run game. They have not attempted a pass this quarter.
That's number 27, caught in the backfield and absolutely hammered by number 63 for the Miners, Josh Belendez, 5'9", 203. He's a junior. We'll see him. I'm sure we'll call his name a lot next year.
This is Kalen Mack back to punt it.
And we have Rodriguez deep, stationed at the 15 when we have a timeout by the Eagles.
And let's take a look at the replay of this attempted run. There's the pitch, and finally Nevada Union punches through the line and just smothers that run before he can go anywhere. But by the time that he was looking up, there was already 2 blue jerseys there in his face, and there was nothing he could do about it. That was 22, Sean Lagunde. Yeah, by the time he caught that pitch and looked up, he was already tackled. So Nevada Union's backfield finally getting involved in these plays, stopping them before anyone from Pleasant Grove can get up to speed and potentially break through for another big run.
Okay, as we look for the punt, Travis Owens is stationed at the 16-yard line. The kick is up, was almost blocked. A big kick will go all the way in to a touchback.
Valiant attempt
Whoa.
to try and save it.
That was close. Exceptional speed.
Even on special teams.
So the Miners will be first and 10 with a minute and 11. They'll have to march 80 yards.
20-yard line.
Well, tonight, Steve, we'll need to select a player of the game. I'd like to maybe hear 2 or 3 selections. We'll kind of narrow it down. We have number 5 breaking it off the edge, taking it out over the 30. That's Travis Owens.
Yeah, for player of the game, I'm thinking possibly Jake Berger or Gareth Noxon. They've both been all over the place, very big for Nevada Union.
Okay, I think if I'm going to pick one of those two, then I'll go with Gareth Noxon, as he made that exceptional run for the touchdown in tonight's game. So would you agree with that?
Absolutely, I would agree with that.
Okay, so we'll go with Gareth Noxon for the Slades and Sons player of the game, which he'll receive the Stookies Engravers plaque. So there's the last play of the game as the Miners go into their ceremonial handshake here with the final score at 62-7. Tough night for the Miners. Not that I would say that it was expected. Okay, so Gareth Noxon, number 2. Steve, how far was that touchdown run? Did you say that he
71 yards.
71 yards. Quite a spectacular run from Gareth Noxon. And he's a 6'2", 195 senior. Had a very good night by scoring that very long run, and ultimately I think wasn't it the longest play of the game for a touchdown?
It was the longest play of the game.
Fantastic. So Steve, as I summarize theoretically the last 2 weeks that you and I have seen here, Nevada Union have played 2 exceptional teams.
They really have. Both Grant and Pleasant Grove have come in with big squads, tough squads, and especially Pleasant Grove, fast squads all the way through the third string. It's just been very hard for the Nevada Union defense to keep up physically and literally, as you've seen 3, 4, even 5 Pleasant Grove players that can burn their secondary.
Very, very good. So our next game for Nevada Union, they will travel and play next Saturday, where they'll take on Chico. And they will be successful, hopefully, for their first win of the year. We at Touchdown Productions, we will be traveling next Friday, where we will have the Bear River Bruins, who will be taking on the Highland Scots. Please check back, and you can catch those games on NCTV, Comcast Channel 11, Suddenlink Channel 16, Wave Broadband Channel 20, as well as the Game of the Week channel on YouTube, as we look at the cheerleaders and the team as we sing as they sing the school's fight song, the alma mater. And here we are. We had Daniel Paddock, Paul Town. We have Gilbert and Dominguez as our executive producer. Daniel Paddock, Paul Town, Ryan Stubbs, Chris LaCentra, Chase Baxter, and Ryan Stubbs as our camera operators for tonight's game. Titles and replay by Kimmer Burgess. Announcers, myself, Scott Hopper, alongside Steve Sitter. Office manager, Lynn Dominguez. Remote facilities, the Commander 2. Commander Maintenance, Plaza Tire and Auto Service, Reeby's Auto Parts. Thank you for the Player of the Game Award, Bill Slade and Sons Trucking, Stuckey Engravers. Touchdown Productions Accounting, Skinto and Graziato LLP. Thank you very much for watching Touchdown Productions. This is your NorCal Game of the Week. Thank you very much. I'm Scott Hopper alongside Steve Sitter. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next week.